Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wish that you could see what I see, because I see some beautiful faces smiling back at me. Tis the season. Well, thank you for joining us today. And if this is your very first time, welcome. And know that you are here by divine appointment. And if this is your first time in our new facility, thank you as well. We feel very blessed by this location and that we can look out and see God's work out there and not be closed in by doors and windows. My name is Claudia Chandler, and I'm the president of Capital City Unity. So it's my pleasure to serve you. Several of our board are here today. Some are not, though. So I'm not going to embarrass those by calling them out. Bill is not with us today. He's with family up in Washington, but he will be here next Sunday for a Christmas service. And with us today is our wonderful, marvelous, amazing Cherie Larkin, Reverend Cherie. So that's who we're going to be getting our message from today. So now that we're here, kind of just settle in. If you brought anything with you, like monkey mind or worries, or when am I going to have time to get that gift, or what am I going to fix for dinner, I invite you to just send it to the hall. You can pick it up when you leave if you'd like. So we're going to say our old affirmation. There is only one presence and one power active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Together? There is only one presence, power active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. And there is only one presence and one power active in this ministry. God the good, omnipotent. Together? One presence. And as Dorothy used to say, you are the ministry. You carry that in your heart as you leave this room, and you bless everyone who comes into your life. There is only one presence and one power active in the world today. God the good. There is only one presence and one power active in the world today. God the good. Breathe that in, because that is so important. Judge not by appearances, but judge by righteous judgment, Jesus said. Sometimes we need to look in and remember this, because when we look out and we hear the news, it can be distressing. So we need to affirm that only God the good is active in the world today. Thank you. Now I invite you to turn to our first hymn, number 280, Joy to the World. So that's a great affirmation. We know this one. All right. Everybody up and ready to go. It's number 280, Joy to the World.
Nature sing, and but think when we sing those words of our current approaching installation of our new president-elect, to think that the Christ rules the world with truth and grace and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and the wonders of his love. And isn't that the task in front of us, that we want to prove the right use of spiritual law and the wonders of the love of the Christ Spirit for our nation, and let our nation prove that and continue to live that to the world. Well, that's enough politics. Good morning. That's enough political commentary for the morning. It's so great to be with you, and as Claudia said, and we love our board, don't we? Our board of trustees, they work really wonderfully for you. Even if they're not here, you can applaud them. They can get it through the ethers, as Mr. Fillmore would say. Well, a couple of announcements. As Claudia mentioned, there is an very intimate Christmas Day service here with Phil next Sunday, and there'll be a service here on New Year's Day. We're here every Sunday, even if it is we don't get the holidays off. We're here to celebrate in the holiday spirit. We also have our prayer tree up here with the little tags on it, and you are welcome to come up after the service and fill out the names of those that you want to enfold in prayer through the season. Put it on the tree, and we'll be blessing all of those people in each service. And then at the end of our Christmas season, those tags will be gathered up and forwarded to Silent Unity, our World Prayer Ministry, where they'll be held in prayer an additional 30 days. So lots of prayer and intimacy. I always put my parents, they're gone, and my brother's gone, but I always put their names on the tree because I feel then we have that sense of connection for the holiday. We want to give thanks that Kristen is here as our prayer chaplain, and if you have an individual need for prayer or support or a celebration or a concern, she's here to support you in that, in prayer after the service. She'll be right up here at the front and available. We also have little red baskets along the sides of the chairs, and in that there's just a plethora of wonderful information. You can sign up to be on our mailing list, you can put in a prayer request, you can just do all kinds of things. So check that out if you're new to the ministry or you have something in particular in a way that you want to communicate with us. That's a great way to write out your requests and then drop it in the offering basket. Your pajamas. Remember, we collected all those wonderful pajamas for middle school kids, and I delivered them to the Sheriff's Toy Project last Monday. And we ended up with almost 80 pairs of pajamas. So they were thrilled. You're doing a mighty work. We're putting feet to our prayers, and I just love that idea that all those pajamas were blessed and infused with the energy of prayer. So when those kids lay their heads down on their pillow at night, and they kind of in their own child mind go into that inner chamber and shut the door, and they have that time, that secret time with their thoughts, that they're going to be enfolded and wrapped in the clothing that we have blessed for them. And so the Sheriff's Department was thrilled. We took a picture, and Suzanne put it out on the e-blast, and so you can see, if you're not signed up for the e-blast, the little red buckets are the connection to get dialed into that. I want to thank all of you who were on my prosperity call last Thursday night. I apologize, I announced it on Wednesday. I had Wednesday in my head from day one, but if you were on it, thank you, and we'll be doing more webinars online in the weeks to come after the new year, so thank you for that. And I think those are all of our announcements this morning. I love to sing the Christmas carols. I hope you do too, because I picked two. So our next song is number 286. 286, O Come All Ye Faithful, as we prepare for meditation. And please rise.
Oh
Now we're going to settle in and come together for prayer and meditation. I invite you to kind of just settle into that seat of yours and put your feet flat on the floor. So they say that's the way to get settled in. Take anything that's out of your lap and kind of put it aside and let your hands kind of relax freely. And now we're going to take a deep cleansing breath. So many times we breathe shallowly. So take that deep breath in and then release it. Maybe do that a couple of more times until you've kind of expelled everything that's needs to go out and brought in all that clean, fresh oxygen. Some people find that it's easier to close their eyes and just shut out all the distractions. Today I'm going to guide you in the 12 Powers meditation. I first heard this meditation from Dorothy. And it's a way for us to anchor in our body using the different powers of our body with I am statements. However, we are more than our body. We know that we're spiritual beings. The I am, which is the anchoring statements or affirmations, are so important. That's what we claim for ourselves. The I am. We must be very mindful of how we use that. You probably are aware of people who say, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm bored. Oh, I hurt. I have pain. That's not what you want to claim for yourself. I am is God's name. I am that I am. And that I am is what you're claiming for your Christ consciousness, your God within you. It's a directive. So to begin with, I'm going to say the affirmation and then I'm going to ask you to join me in that. And then after we go through that once, I will say it again and let you just kind of settle into it as a way to recenter your body and reboot your powers. So to begin with, imagine at the top of your head a beautiful soft white light, a soft illuminating light. I am faith. So together, I am faith. And now moving to the center of your forehead. Right there where your third eye is. I am imagination. Together. I am imagination. And now moving to right behind your left eye. I am will. Together. I am will. And now moving to your right eye. I am determination. Together. I am determination. Now bring that white light right down to your throat, your power center. And Jesus said, let your words be yes, yes, and no, no. I am power. Together. I am power. Onto the back of your neck. That white light that just heals the back of your neck. Releasing any tension there. I am zeal. I am zeal. Now bring that white light right into your lungs. Just fill your lungs with that beautiful white light. I am wisdom and good judgment. Together. I am wisdom and good judgment. Now moving that beautiful white light right down your spine, illuminating each little vertebrae. I am strength. Together. I am strength. Now centering that white light right in the middle where your navel is. I am order. Together. I am order. Now moving it to the small of your back. I am renunciation. Together. I am renunciation. Now bring that white light down, all the way down to your feet. And now see it circling up your body like a double helix, encompassing your whole body with a white light. I am life. Together. I am life. Now taking yourself deeper. Deeper to that place of peace and relaxation. Let my voice be your voice as I move through this meditation one more time, bringing these powers in, blessing your body, blessing your consciousness, centering yourself, beginning at the top of your head. See that illuminating white light. I am faith. I am faith. I am faith. I am God's faith. Moving to your third-eyed center. That white illuminates. I am imagination. I am imagination. I am God's imagination. Bringing that beautiful white light to hover right behind your left eye, circling and healing. I am determination. I am determination. I am God's determination. Now moving that right eye, white light to your right eye. I am will. I am will. I am God's will. Bringing it down now, that white light to your throat. Swirling in your throat. I am power. I am power. I am God's power. Blessing the back of your neck. Caressing it, that white light. I am zeal. I am zeal. I am God's zeal. Now moving that beautiful white light through your lungs, circling your lungs, encompassing your lungs, blessing your lungs. I am wisdom and good judgment. I am wisdom and good judgment. I am God's wisdom and good judgment. Now down your spine, illuminating your spine. I am strength. I am strength. I am strength. I am God's strength. Bringing it to the center of your navel now. I am order. I am order. I am order. I am God's order. To the small of your back. I am renunciation. I am renunciation. I am renunciation. Bringing it down to your feet. Imagine it circling your whole body as if a cashmere, beautiful white gossamer threads from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. I am life. I am life. I am life. I am a spiritual being living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual law. I am more than my physical body. I am a child of God. I am enough. I am loved, and I am loving. Thank you, Mother, Father, God.
Thank you, Claudia. Beautiful. And it fits our message today. So you'll see. A friend of mine shared that last Christmas he told his girlfriend that he wanted a digital camera for Christmas. All he wanted. Beginning and end of list, digital camera. And you know what she got him? A beautiful handmade picture frame with an enlarged photo of the two of them on their first date. But he said, not to worry, I got her a digital camera. There you go. So be careful with your gift list this holiday season. I remember one time in Nashville, we were doing the Christmas Eve service. And in the South, you have to do the candlelight service on Christmas Eve. Remember how we would always do it like the 19th or the 15th so you could go be with your family. But the first year I was there, I did that. I scheduled it for the 19th, and about 100 people showed up on the 24th, and there was nobody there. I mean, my bookstore guy happened to be there, and he opened up the church and made hot chocolate for everybody. So, but at another Christmas Eve, the electricity in the church failed. And while we had beautiful candlelight going on, the ushers ran out and they brought some more candles up and they got everything resettled. And I got back up to the lectern and I said, now where was I? And someone from the back called out and said, near the end. It's a pretty bah humbug, you know? Jeez, it hurt my feelings. Near the end. Well, Christmas has the mystical power to awaken the deep things in us, doesn't it? The Christmas story gives us some very, very beautiful symbolism about how we awaken spiritually and how we grow spiritually. The journey that the wise men made, or that the shepherds made, is a journey that we all make, don't we, to the birth of the Christ within. And it happens in our hearts. It takes place within. It's an inner story, and it's prompted out of the silent night, isn't it? That quiet sanctuary and listening within. The road to Bethlehem doesn't take place just in December, and not only one time. It's a lifetime journey in each of us, isn't it? Hold on. Sound tech usually catches my coughs. Me. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's a test of our new sound system, see. Anyway, each time we come into a deeper understanding of our spiritual nature, the Christ is born again and again. You know, in unity, it doesn't happen just one time. There's this continual awakening to the expansiveness and the beauty that is the Christ within, the Christ of your nature, your God nature. And so today I want to share with you in our my Christmas message for you, how some of that mystical process that is the birth of the Christ takes place, so that you have a conscious understanding of how to midwife the reality of your dreams, how to midwife what you want to create for your life and bring it into connection. Oh, thank you. Specifically, I want to look at the spiritual symbolism of Mary and the radiance of her soul and the power that she gives us in the birth of the Christ child. So that again, you can have this enchanted Christmas and an enchanted New Year and an enchanted life. I've entitled our message today, Enchanted Christmas. And there's a way that we make that we cooperate with that in ourselves in the birth of the Christ. So in the Christmas story, Mary gives birth to the Christ child, doesn't she? And oftentimes, when there's a new part of us that's trying to be born, we resist, don't we? Something new wants to come, and there's no room at the end. No room in our current way of being and thinking. There's no patterning in our thought process to allow for this new consciousness or for this expanded consciousness. And so we resist. We say we want things to be better or we want them to be different. But when the new birth actually begins, sometimes we think it's too much. Or when a new birth actually begins, there are labor pains in birth, aren't there? And oftentimes, new birth comes out of something like a divorce, or a diagnosis of an illness, or a bankruptcy, or a marital separation. It's born out of all of that. Something big. And oftentimes, that's how it has to be. Something big, something explosive has to happen in our thinking nature in order to make room, to kind of shatter the framework and the infrastructure of how we have been so solid, so sure, so confident, so certain in who we are and what we know and how we function. And the older we get, we kind of get a little more rigid in that. And so sometimes something explosive has to occur to shatter or to stir things up for us. New birth often takes place in a manger. Circumstances that are not so good, right? Not optimum. Here's the word I want to work with today. Your ability to picture something that does not yet exist in your reality is one of your highest abilities. Your ability to picture something that does not yet exist in your reality is one of your highest abilities. And this is so because your imagination transcends physical dimension. Your imagination transcends physical dimension and connects with the universal divine mind. That makes anything possible. That makes the miracles that happen in the Christmas story. Now, let's talk about that practically for a minute, what that looks like in our everyday lives. There was a man, Jeffrey, in my congregation in Nashville, and he came through a pretty miraculous healing. When he was 18 years old, his father said he would buy him a car if he could earn half of the money. And so he immediately got a job, and he got a job mowing vacant city lots in Nashville. But the sum total, and I'll tell you, most boys in the South know how to drive a tractor, but Jeffrey wasn't that skilled at it. And the sum total of his instruction on those big mowers was just get on it and mow. You know, I mean, how hard can it be, right? So he goes out to his first lot, and he encounters a fairly steep embankment that he doesn't know how to navigate, and he lost control of the tractor. He was thrown clear. He rolled down the embankment over a retaining wall that was about 2 feet high, landed flat on his back on the ground. Only the tractor made the same journey and came over the embankment and landed on his upper body and crushed him. And the doctor said if he would survive, he'd be impaired for the rest of his life, and he'd probably never breathe normally again. But all Jeffrey could think about was getting out of that hospital and getting well so he could get back to work for what? That new car. This is the interactive part of the service. The new car, that's right. In his mind, that idea of the new car had planted, and he'd already picked out the make, the model, the color, the special chrome finishes, and everything that he wanted. He was alive with that ideal of that car. He was devotional to that car, and you know what? He did survive. He not only survived, but he got out. His dad bought him the car. Today he is a sales rep for an insurance company, but he also works at a gym teaching cycling classes and training people in weightlifting. So he's fully recovered, and a couple years ago he ran the Chicago Marathon. So we're going to talk about the power of that imagination, that power to your ability to picture something that does not yet exist, his car. Doesn't yet exist in his reality, is one of your highest abilities. This is so because your imagination transcends the physical dimension and connects with the universal mind so that anything in your world becomes possible. Isn't that an exciting thought for Christmas? So let's see how that works in Mary's life. The New Testament gives very little information about Mary, but the apocryphal Gospels are full of stories about her. And so we know that she was born to older parents, Joachim and Anna. At age 3, she was taken to the temple and dedicated to God, and she remained there until she was 12 years old. They said, so increasing in virtue that angels ministered to her. As a young girl, she was betrothed to Joseph, before all of the miracle announcement from the angel took place. She was betrothed to Joseph, they said, by a miraculous sign. And there's no revelation of what that choice of Joseph and what that miraculous sign was. In the Christmas story, we learn a little bit more about her. There's, in the Gospel of Luke, kind of gives the best version of her story. And I don't know about you, but I always love to read the Christmas stories at Christmas time. We know them all, don't we? But in my family, we read them on Christmas Eve when we're together. They're short, but we just kind of add that element in. And so I want to share with you Mary's story. Remember how Dorothy used to do this? And then this. And then, now I need this. Would you hold this for me, please? See this way back here. Jim Lee had somebody else read the scripture, right? I know why he did that. It's just so... All right. Gospel of Luke, the first chapter, beginning in the 26th verse. Just let your heart listen to it as Christmas. In the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent by God to a town in Galilee called Nazareth, to a virgin engaged to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David. The virgin's name was Mary, and he came to her and said, "Greetings, favored one, the Lord is with you." But she was much perplexed by his words and pondered what sort of greeting this might be. Now, in Middle Eastern culture, when a woman was visited by an angel, it meant that she was pregnant. There was a whole process where women would prepare the way. They would journey for 3 days to this special site where they would pray to be fertile and all the stuff. And during that time, they had hoped that they would get a revelation from an angel. And then they would journey back home, and eventually they would wait until they got their revelation that they were going to have a child. So here's Mary, and here's this angel, and he's showing up, and she's thinking she's pregnant, and she's thinking, how could this happen? And so they say that in the story a little bit. And he came to her and said, "Greetings, favored one, the Lord is with you." But she was much perplexed by his words and pondered what sort of greeting this might be. And then the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And now you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you will name him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High, and the Lord God will give to him the throne of his ancestor David. He will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there will be no end." Mary said to the angel, "How can this be, since I am a virgin?" And the angel said to her, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. And therefore the child to be born will be holy. He will be called the Son of God." Now what we have in this birth story is really a formula and a process that every one of us can discern to create the birth of something new in our own lives. And I want to work with that today as our process. Let me find where was I? Don't say almost done. Don't say almost done. All right, metaphysically, in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, here's the definition of Mary, because this is just all part of this process. In Mary, the Christ consciousness is conceived intuitively in your mind. A high and holy idea is sown in her mind and cultivated in her soul. Her soul is devotional to that ideal, and she's expectant of its outcome. She has faith, she has hope, she has expectancy, and she's devoted to it. She believes in the miraculous as a possibility. Mary expected the birth of the Christ according to the promise of the angel. So she expected this thing to happen because it had been downloaded into her from the inspiration of Spirit. She was so filled with that ideal that it formed in her mind a seed thought. Now watch this. That seed thought quickened in vibration into a cell. And over time, there was an aggregation of cells strong enough to create form. Isn't that amazing? She was so filled with the ideal, like Claudia's beautiful meditation, I am life, I am strength, I am faith, I am understanding, I am love. So filled with the ideal that it formed in her mind a seed thought that quickened in vibration into a cell. And over time, I am life, I am life. There was an aggregation of cells strong enough to create form. Mary represents the soul that magnifies the Lord, our feeling nature, and it's highly sensitive to the inspiration from Spirit. And through her devotions, she prepares a way. She prepares neural programming. She prepares heart-infused programming, patterns of thought, patterns of spirit. She prepares a way for the birth of the Christ. And when you and I cultivate a spiritual practice of devotion, of stillness, of concentration, of listening within, we are preparing a way for that seed thought to drop in, for that seed idea to drop in. We're preparing a way for the influence of Spirit to drop into us a high and holy thought. Now, high and holy thoughts in Scripture represent the presence of angels. Angels are messengers from God. So you're opening yourself to the divine, and you're allowing something that wants to be born through you to be revealed to you. You catch that insight. You know what it is in you because you can feel it. It's the dream that you've had for 30 years that keeps returning and is still not yet fulfilled. And so you open to that. Or it may be a new idea for a new business or health of your body. It can be any number of things. But you're open and receptive to this ideal, this high and holy thought to drop in. It is the inspiration of Spirit, is the very thing that God has for you, for your life, that is trying to come through you out into physical reality in your life. So it's in devotion that you catch that idea, and then you nurture it, you prepare a way for it to come to you. Now we're told that Mary was first troubled by the message, right? And when we receive a message, like, get a new job, get out of here. At first we're afraid or we're confused. It seems like too much. Sometimes it's write the book. You could be a best-selling author, and we think it's too good to be true, that it's too magnificent, that it's too hard, that it'll take too much time. So all that means is in the first stages of the birth of the Christ Spirit within us, and the reality of the Christ Spirit within us, is that we catch the insight of what's trying to be born in us, and that seed idea then becomes implanted within us. We may not understand what's happening. We cannot often see the whole picture of how it's going to happen, and we can be a little confused and a little afraid. But again, we see in Mary, through her devotional nature, she shows us how to become receptacles for the outpouring of Spirit, how to become receptacles for the miraculous, how to magnify the ideal, not the idea, either one, but the ideal, until the vision of good that God is trying to express through us comes into physical form, staying with your dreams until they become a reality in your life. Now, how does the Mary nature in you and me work to bring our dreams into reality? And I have a couple steps to walk us through. We have to start with our basic premises in unity, that we know that everything around us exists as universal mind, also called God. So everything that is, ever was, ever will be, is this universal mind, God. And the universal mind, a good picture of it, is an unmanifest, shimmering essence. That's how I like to think of it, as a shimmering essence, you see. And this essence is the substance out of which all physical form is created. It's where everything that is lives before it comes into physical reality. It's just this unmanifest essence. The quantum physicists call it the unified field, right? I like to call it the realm of all possibility. Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven. And it's this universal mind field that is God. To connect with universal mind, you know how to do that. We do that every week in our prayer time. You close your eyes from distraction, you relax your body, you release your concerns as if you're placing all your baggage outside. You know, the Cliff Notes version of this process is when Jesus said, go into your inner chamber and shut the door. Pray to the Father in secret, and the Father, seeing in secret, shall recompense thee openly. That's kind of the Cliff Notes version of today's message. That pray to the Father in secret, in that universal mind, God, and the Father, seeing in secret, implants an idea that moves in and through your life. Now, by recognition of universal mind, by thinking and wholehearted concentration on God, something very interesting happens. Your thinking nature, Joseph, is the intellect, Mary is the emotional nature, and your thinking and your feeling nature combine to give birth. And through concentration and thinking, your mental impulses start currents of energy in your patterning, in your thoughts. And that stimulates and forms molecules. Molecules. By the power of your devotion to your ideal, the animation of life begins. The vibration begins to accelerate within you. Whereas before everything was kind of neutral, it's all there in spirit. It's all already done in spirit. But this vibration of thought and devotion to it begins movement, begins animation, begins life. Sanaya Roman describes it in a very beautiful way. She says, imagine a gridwork of light around your head. Remember when the ancients painted the saints where they all had that halo of light around their head? Think of it like that. Imagine a gridwork of light around your head. And she says that light extends upward and out everywhere. Charles Fillmore called the Faith Center here as that illumination of light at the top of the head. And you imagine it coming, just being all around you and coming down and connecting into your heart center. And then you see your awareness moving up and down this gridwork of light. And you imagine that you're uniting with the unmanifest energy of this thing that's trying to be born in your life. Health for your body, wisdom and guidance for your way. So you send your awareness up along the gridwork and see yourself uniting with that shimmering essence of universal mind. You see yourself meeting with the unmanifest energy of the thing that's been revealed to you, that's coming into your life. You use your imagination to picture it vividly, give it color, give it form. You can hold to just the ideal of life, just the ideal of love, and it's more than enough. But I think when we're training our patterning in our mind, that if we vividly give color and form and shape, that I want my body to be flexible, I want my body to be pain-free, I want my body to be tumor-free, if you give the details of it, I think that helps accelerate the patterning. Whatever you take to God in prayer, you see the ideal of what you're building. My soul magnifies the Lord. My soul magnifies the Lord as prosperity. And then you envision all your bills paid in full, your retirement fund fully funded. You envision yourself able to take all the vacations you want. You see your savings and your investments overflowing. You could say, my soul magnifies God as harmony in my marriage. And then you see romance and fun and connection and good communication. Are you with me? You let the unmanifest energy of what's trying to be born now, listen to this. You envision it coming into your heart center, and then, this is Sanaya Roman's process, you allow it to change in your mind into subatomic particles of light. Quantum physics, right? Now I like to think of it as, you know when you pick up the rug and you shake it out and you see all those little light particles floating around? That's my vision of this, you know. Oh, there goes Uncle Joe, and there's my dad, you know, and a spiritual light. But I like to think of those little particles of light energy. That helps me. So you have this grid work, and you're going up and down, and it's in your heart, and you're connecting with the unmanifest shimmering essence of what you want, and then you change it into subatomic particles of light. And then you let those subatomic particles of light leap from the invisible realm into your physicality. You are taking on the radiance of the Christ. The Christ Spirit is being born more fully, coming more alive in you. You see the particles leap across from the invisible realm of spirit into the physical world. You open your heart and receive the light particles. You greet them in love. You embrace them. And then, in your visualization, you bring those subatomic particles of light into your DNA. Your DNA is coded with your life program. And if you're giving birth to some part of some new life in you, you see those subatomic particles of light, which is the light of the Christ, crossing over into your DNA, where they begin to code and program the highest, most enlightening life for you. All of this in that prayer. Can you see Mary and her devotion? My soul magnifies the Lord. Then you imagine your DNA going to work, code, new life. You radiate the light particles of this new idea, health for your body, romance, for love for your life. You radiate the light particles of what you want from your DNA into your cells, into your emotions, into your conscious mind. You have trillions of cells in your body. So you are moving the invisible, shimmering essence of the universal mind, exploding it across from unmanifest form into physical form of subatomic particles, allowing those particles to come into your DNA, seeing your DNA leap into your cells with it programmed to coded to program the highest, most magnificent life you could ever hope, and trillions of cells are now enlightened. My soul magnifies the Lord. Mary got this. She got this. Something begins to happen. You begin to take on the radiance of the light particles. You thank in advance what's coming, and you accept that your new life is here. And then sometimes there's a 9-month process for it to physically show up, right? But sometimes it manifests immediately. Mary confirms for us that our ability to picture something that does not yet exist in our reality is one of our highest abilities. This is so because our imagination transcends the physical and connects with universal mind where anything is possible. She is the Christ in her. The Christ consciousness is conceived intuitively. A high and holy ideal is sown in her mind. It's cultivated in her heart. Her soul becomes devotional to it until she is so filled with the ideal that it forms in her mind a seed thought. That seed thought, those subatomic particles of light quicken in vibration into a cell. Over time, there is an aggregation of cells and strong enough to create form. This gives me hope that anything in my life is possible. I can create, and here's the thing. We don't really create anything. We're the channels for the creation and expression of God. I always say, when was the last time you made a human heart or an ocean? You think you're the one doing it? You're not. But you are the receptacle for it. You are the channel through which, this is the way God speaks to us. You get still, and there is a seed thought that drops in, and it's like, this is what you have for me now? Or, this is what you have for me now? You want me to do what? I can't believe it. So, but then you nurture that, and you get the pattern. You can see it in our message today. The miracle birth that took place in Mary is not merely a mystical child born one time, one place, in one person for all time. The birth of the Christ Spirit through Mary is a divine blueprint. Jesus was always teaching us the laws of God, even in utero. Even in utero, the way he came into the world gave us the formula and the process for the creation and expression of the Christ in our lives. If you have been trying to will your way to something or to force your way to something, this morning I want to invite you to become devotional to it. Not devotional to the thing, but devotional to the creator of the thing. You see, and that will lead you on the path that will bring fulfillment. So, let's take that idea into prayer for just a moment as we conclude. And I like to say now, every time that you see Mary on a Christmas card or in a nativity scene or somewhere in the Christmas season, that you remember that she helped give us this divine blueprint for how your radiance and the expression of the Christ moves from the divine realm in and through your physicality and out into your world. Let's take that into prayer for just a moment. If there's something in your heart this morning that you are seeking to see fulfilled in your life, health for your body, guidance and a decision about some matter, prosperity, love, harmony. Just let yourself become devotional to that ideal. My soul magnifies the Lord. Let's say it together. My soul magnifies the Lord. Most Holy Child, living Spirit of God, the Christ lives within you. It sources you, it provides for you, it protects you, it loves you. And now in this Christmas season, you can see and feel its presence near you. You can hear it speak to you fully, clearly, lovingly. And you recognize its voice of love. This Christmas, it's coming more and more alive in you, being born anew in you. Its power sustains you. Its wisdom guides you. Its abundance prospers you. And you open in devotion to its call of love to you. My soul magnifies the Lord. Again, my soul magnifies the Lord. And so it is. Amen. I want to wish each one of you a Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday. May the light of Christ be illumined in you more powerfully and profoundly than ever before. And we dedicate these gifts to that idea moving in the season of this holiday. So it is. Amen. So we are ready now to stand and take a hand, make a friend, love a neighbor, and let's sing our peace song. And keep in mind, we sing it sometimes and we take it for granted. Oh, do we do that or are we going to do the love song? A peace song. Let there be peace on earth, because, and really think about the words, that we're saying, because it's the season of peace on earth.
The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is swell.